For many years, scientists, astronomers, researchers, and even engineers have been trying to get a deeper look at the stars. It has been a lifelong dream to dance with the stars, and it looks like humanity is finally going to get the chance. Thanks to the advancement in our technology, mankind has been able to reach for the stars. And now, with the launching of the James Webb Space Telescope, it looks like we can now do more than reach for the stars. So, in today's video, we will take a look at this groundbreaking technology and why it is so important to us. The James Webb Space Telescope is an infrared observatory that is orbiting the Sun about 1 million miles from Earth. The Webb, or the JWST as it is also called, is a huge upgrade from its predecessor, the Hubble Space Telescope. It will complement and greatly extend the discoveries of the Hubble Space Telescope. The JWST is NASA's largest and most powerful space science telescope ever built. It is an upscale observatory with a limited infrared telescope that has a 6.5-meter primary mirror. Interestingly, the James Webb Space Telescope was first envisioned in 1989 and it finally launched 32 years later, on December 25, 2021 from ESA's launch site at Kourou in French Guiana. The Webb is the product of an impressive international collaboration between NASA, the European Space Agency, and the Canadian Space Agency. The development of this powerful telescope involved over 300 universities, companies, and organizations across the United States, along with 14 other countries. For 30 days, the Webb traveled nearly 1 million miles, about 1.5 million kilometers to its permanent home known as the Lagrange point, which is a gravitationally stable location in space. On January 24, 2022, the JWST entered the L2, which is the second Sun-Earth Lagrange point. L2 is a location in space that is close to the Earth but lies opposite the Sun, and this orbit will allow the telescope to remain in line with Earth as it revolves around the Sun. As a matter of fact, the Lagrange point, which is now home to the James Webb Space Telescope, has been home to many other space telescopes, including the Herschel Space Telescope and the Planck Space Observatory. The Webb cost an estimated $10 billion, and its job will be to investigate the cosmos to uncover the history of the universe, all the way from the Big Bang to probe for alien formation and life beyond. It is meant to peer back to some of the earliest galaxies that formed after the Big Bang, and even look at the structure of the universe itself. Unlike the Hubble Space Telescope, which was able to observe the universe 450 million years after the Big Bang, the Webb is allowing researchers to get 4 times closer to the Big Bang. Since the James Webb Space Telescope is the latest, it is better than all other telescopes before it, as it should be, and its observatory improves the sensitivity and resolution of the Hubble. But when it comes to its design and outlook, the James Webb Space Telescope is equipped with a massive mirror that can extend to 21 feet and 4 inches. This massive length will allow the mirror to collect more light from the objects it observes in space. And the more light the mirror can collect, the more details the telescope can observe. The Webb's mirror is the largest mirror that NASA has ever built, and it includes 18 hexagonal gold-coated segments that are 4.3 feet each in diameter. The James Webb Space Telescope has a 5-layer super windshield that opens to reach the size of a tennis court, and it was made this big because scientists have said that it would be able to look at things that were previously out of reach before. However, the sun shield will protect the telescope's giant mirror and instruments from the heat of the sun because they need to be maintained at a very icy negative 370 degrees Fahrenheit for them to operate properly. NASA has said that the James Webb Space Telescope will focus on 4 major areas. These areas are the first light in the universe, the assembly of galaxies in the early universe, the birth of stars and protoplanetary systems, and the planets. The first light in the universe points to the early stages of the universe after the Big Bang started the universe. At first, after the Big Bang, the universe was nothing but a sea of particles, and light was not visible until the universe cooled, so that the particles could combine. As such, the JWST is meant to investigate what happened after the stars formed. The second area that the telescope will probe is the assembly of galaxies. The goal of the Webb is to look back at the earliest galaxies, which will help us to better understand evolution. It will also help to figure out how we got the different galaxies that we have today and how they form and assemble. Moreover, with Webb's infrared eyes, scientists will be able to uncover how stars are being born, which is something humanity had not achieved in the past. And with this powerful telescope, its sensors will be able to get a deeper look into other planets, imaging their atmosphere, as it would help scientists to determine if certain planets are habitable or not. The James Webb Space Telescope is equipped with 4 science instruments that will deliver observations in visible, near-infrared, and mid-infrared wavelengths. The JWST primarily looks at the universe in infrared, and because of the expansion of the universe, light from distant objects shifts to longer wavelengths that are at the redder end of the spectrum. This will allow Webb to observe this infrared light in great detail, allowing it to shed light on some of the oldest stars and galaxies in the universe. The Webb telescope is so important because humanity now gets to see things that we could not see before, and even see things that we have seen differently. It will revolutionize our understanding of distant planets and deep time. Thanks to the JWST, humanity is about to have an entirely new perspective on the universe. The Space Observatory will be able to look inside the atmosphere of exoplanets and observe some of the first galaxies created after the universe began. And we would be able to see these galaxies because of infrared light, which is visible to the human eye. After Webb's successful launch into space, the powerful sensor has started capturing images that are nothing short of amazing. In July 2022, scientists were able to see the first full-color image from Webb, and it is the deepest and sharpest infrared image of the distant universe so far, according to NASA. The images showed galaxy cluster SMACS 0723, which is a cluster of thousands of galaxies, and they are some of the most distant galaxies ever detected. Interestingly, scientists have said that this image only scratches at the surface of what the Webb can do when it comes to studying deep fields and tracing galaxies back to the beginning of cosmic time. This means that the James Webb Space Telescope will be able to probe far enough to see what the universe looked like around 100 to 250 million years after the Big Bang. After the first image showcased that first cosmic target, SMACS 0723, the Webb released more images that offer a new look at 4 cosmic targets: the Carina Nebula, WASP 96b, the Southern Ring Nebula, and Stephan's Quintet. The Webb located the Carina Nebula, which is a celestial nursery that was located 7,600 light-years away, and it is the place where stars are born. Interestingly, we have been able to discover that this cosmic target is home to many stars that are much more massive than our Sun. Also, Webb's view of Stephan's Quintet will uncover the way galaxies interact with one another. All these cosmic targets can now be studied and investigated deeply, as we are now privy to a different wavelength of light that could reveal new information about the planet. This $10 billion telescope is so important because it would be able to proffer answers to the burning questions that astronomers have been trying to figure out for years. For example, astronomers have been asking questions regarding our origin and our place in the universe. Questions such as, how did the black holes first form? How did our galaxies evolve? Is Earth unique? Is the Milky Way unique? And so many other questions. And thankfully, the James Webb Space Telescope was designed specifically to answer these questions. We are going to see our world in a new light and see the light in our origin story. Many scientists have said that the Webb Space Telescope will rewrite our cosmic history if it works. And so far, it has been working. With this powerful telescope, we no longer have to wonder, argue, or remain in the dark concerning what happened after the Big Bang. Now we can go back in time to learn more about the history of the universe, to learn about the nature of the first stars, invisible matter that gravity coaxed into form, the roles of magnetism and turbulence, and the planets and the galaxies. The Webb is allowing us to see galaxies that the Hubble could not see. And not only can it see with its 6.5-meter-wide golden mirror and super-sensitive infrared instruments, but it can also resolve their shapes, which allows us to count them. Currently, the universe is about 13.8 billion years old, and already the JWST is capturing images that are giving us glimpses into the processes that form the stars and the planets way before our own planet came into existence. Amazing, isn't it? The JWST's mission was estimated to last for 10 years, but according to NASA Deputy Administrator Pam Melroy, the Webb has enough fuel that will allow it to operate for up to 20 years. If this first packet of color images released by the Webb was a result of 120 hours of observation, which is about 5 days worth of data, just imagine how much we can discover in 20 years. The James Webb Space Telescope is so important and exciting because it has opened up a pathway to things beyond our imagination and understanding. And according to NASA's Associate Administrator for Science, Thomas Zurbuchen, there's tens of thousands of scientists, and frankly, some of them just got born or are not even born, who are benefiting from this amazing telescope because it will be with us for decades. In the short time that the JWST has been orbiting around the Sun, we have gotten exclusive glimpses into planets, exoplanets, galaxies, and stars. And this is just the beginning. Now, not only can we reach for the stars, but we can also touch them. Well, you know what I mean. We now have images of ancient history billions of light years away that show what the universe looked like when it was just forming after the Big Bang. And we are pretty excited to see more. And with that, we've come to the end of this video. Let us know your thoughts on the James Webb Space Telescope in the comments below. For more interesting videos like this, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notifications so you never miss an upload. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you guys in the next video.